Hello friends, old incurably crafty Orm Shadowborn is back with another video today. This one was actually inspired, I can't say inspired, this one was suggested, it was a recommended video. A dear friend of mine wanted to know how to put together a crossbow, something that would be quick, cheap, effective, and practical for, self-defense use. I myself live in a very bad neighborhood, so when I got this request, it really spoke volumes to me. I do make this stuff for show, but I am always conscientious of the fact that on either side of my property are trap houses, and a lot of miscreants and ne'er-do-wells like to cut across my lawn to go back and forth to buy their drugs. So, needless to say, the problem gets solved once in a while. Sometimes local law enforcement does their job, but every now and again you get that one unpredictable weirdo likes to get a little too close to you. Wouldn't hurt to make yourself feel a little more comfortable. Now, it's not to say that I want these things being brought out onto the streets because it's only going to make the problem worse. But listen, if you live in a place where it's not unheard of for there to be a burglary, I personally, everyone on my street knows that I'm the crazy Viking guy with all the weapons, so they don't even really talk to me, much less cross to my side of the street. But I definitely sleep more soundly at night, knowing that if somebody who wasn't any the wiser were to break in here, I can protect myself and my family. And I know a lot of people who are gun owners for that exact reason. They don't hunt, they don't carry their guns with them wherever they go, but it makes them feel more comfortable at home to know that if in the middle of the night somebody broke in, they have a chance of defending themselves and their family. So this is not a crossbow, but it's along the same lines, and the materials that I used for this are the same. It's a dart gun, like a spear gun, but it's a little hand pistol size, super easy to draw, quick reload. I'm going to show it to you guys, but more importantly, this time for this video, I want to get into the materials because, like I said, it's a lot of the same materials you would use to make a crossbow. And everything that I make, everything that's on this channel is all stuff that's made out of recycled materials. I don't go out and buy anything. I just take random junk that most people would throw away, and I turn my trash into my own treasure. So, and sometimes other people's too, but that's mostly furniture. But, so, in making self-defense stuff, again, I want to stress safety is everything. So if you're making stuff to protect your home and you're worried about the potential burglar, but you have children in the home, make this so children can't operate it, or at least easily, because the last thing you want is an accident. Part of the reason, I own guns, but I don't leave guns in readily accessible areas all like that, because any child can pick up a gun and flip a switch and pull a trigger. You leave the safety on, you leave the thing unloaded, the odds of an accident happening are significantly slimmer, but I have ridiculously above average smart kids who make painfully below average dumb decisions sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of other parents can totally sympathize with me on that one. You got the smartest kid in the world, but the decision-making sometimes, we just gotta wonder. So, safety first, right? Right. Because I have children in the house, I make my pieces that fire a little bit tougher to load themselves, or a little bit more convoluted to actually operate the firing mechanism. But for your own sake, if you were home by yourself, if you live alone, whatever, this is an easy thing to replicate, and the only thing you'd have to do differently is just make this groove here a little wider. Now, I'm going to explain exactly how this works and why, but above anything else, the important thing about this is materials. So this is my little spear pistol, and for this video, the firing is probably going to be a little lackluster because I use these. They're dowels. I kind of rounded the tip on this one, but I've got cats. I've got, as you can see, the shelf up here. I got a lot of knickknacks all around the house. This place looks like a witch's library. So I got to be really careful not to break anything. I also kind of want to stunt the shot on purpose because this one I made with that recommendation in mind. This one is absolutely, and it's going to get dismantled after this video. I just wanted to show like how this could go together and what you can do to make these sort of things. But this one was I threw it together in about maybe an hour and a half, start to finish, including using a handsaw to cut these grooves and everything. This one I did with a drill. This one here up top, I did with a drill, but then I had to use the handsaw just to get down and, connect the hole and make it a full groove. This one I did with a handsaw. It was a pain in the butt, but do what you gotta do. Altogether, it took about an hour and a half. Now, whatever you use to make the body, I always recommend wood, but you want to be sure that whatever you're using, you can, because I recommend using wood because you can cut into it, cut these grooves, all that stuff. And unlike plastic, which you can cut into even easier, wood tends to hold its integrity a little bit better. So I'm not gonna put the bolt there over and over and over and over and over again and have this eventually wear forward, whereas plastic will eventually wear away, and then my little corner there would turn into a ramp that would do me no good. So here's what I did. A couple of tent poles on either side as my rails. I just super glued them on really fast and put these screws in on the side, on both sides at equal spots so that they couldn't move around a bunch. Underneath this blue fabric here is another screw in the middle, pushing them out against these 4 screws on the outside. This piece is actually just aesthetic, this black piece. I just wanted it there to kind of cap this and make this look better. But essentially, this fabric right here is an old piece of a washcloth, is just there for the bolt to sit on. It's nice and smooth and soft, so it does let the bolt slide off really fast and easy, but that's not really an issue because I'm using these fiberglass tent poles, which don't offer any resistance at all. A couple of screws going through here to brace it on this piece of metal right here, which you don't need to do. You just get long enough screws that they can, or a long enough bolt that it can go in and have a nut on either side. So you have a little bit of room left off on both sides. Like you want to basically build horns coming off of the thing in any direction you want. It'll work either way. A doob tube is what I generally use for my barrels because I live in New York and weed is now legal and a lot of stores carry doobies and they're pretty cheap. So, when in Rome. But now I've recently quit smoking weed about 5 weeks ago, but I have a buttload of these doob tubes still saved up. I don't ever throw them away. I don't really throw anything away. Little tape to hold it all together. And then you can really use anything you want as a guide rail. This is just here to stop this from bouncing up and over the bolt when it releases, because when you release anything from a low spot to a high spot, it's going to want to bounce up and over until it's basically done with its draw. So you're going to miss the bolt completely if you don't have something to stop this. You can use anything. Just screw another block here and then put a piece of wood up here and screw another block there. Doesn't really matter as long as it's high enough up that it doesn't offer any resistance, but not so high that it lets this piece bounce up and over the bolt. Now, here's the most important part of this entire thing is this elastic material. It tends to be the thing that people have the hardest time getting their hands on. Balloons. If you want to make a slingshot, a crossbow, a backwards bow, which is where the shaft is solid, but the string is stretchy, because generally bows, the shaft is what's flexible and the string is solid. So that solid string pulls the arrow, and that actually, it works a lot better than having a bow built backwards where the shaft is sturdy and the string is flexible. But balloons, party balloons, the big ones that come on strings that you can punch, any of those, even an old hippity hop, anything that's meant to hold at least your head size of air or bigger makes a great bungee for this kind of stuff. So with this one, I made this a little narrow because, again, I wanted it to be difficult for kids to operate. But what I do is I pull this back. Oh, and this is just a random bolt going through, wrapped with fabric and tape to keep it to the elastic. It's not actually attached to the elastic in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, I pull my bolt back and I stick it in that hole. And then you see on this side, this bolt is a little longer on this side. And that's so that I can put my thumb over it. And when I let go with my thumb, she fires. So I'll do my firing demonstration for you. Super simple. Bolt on, line back. Thumb down on that bolt right there. Put our ammunition in. So it's right there. And it's also important too, this has a little bit more play than it should because I made it kind of fast and easy. It's important to set up your bolt in a way that it's not going to wobble side to side, but whatever you use to brace it and guide it doesn't interfere with this piece. So just a piece of wood, a little bit of balloon, some stuff to keep it all in place there, and I hope you heard that because that hit my wall pretty hard. I've got brick walls on one side of my kitchen going all the way around. That hit that brick wall, didn't do any damage to it, but it definitely hit it with some force. So this bad boy I could hunt with. This one's going to get dismantled literally as soon as I hit that end button there. But if you want to make something for home defense, you want it to be quick, easy to fire, easy to reload, fast, simple. Get some balloons, some wood, some screws, and just be a little patient with it. But that's all you need. Any old random junk out of the garbage. And as long as you got your balloon and your wood block to start with, you're going to be all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's my spear pistol, my little quick BS-ical home defense piece. And I got plenty of other home defense pieces, so I don't really need this one. I might use it for something else, but I might hang on to it, put some arms on it, and see if that changes how the balloon acts. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this. Your like ratings and subscriptions are always appreciated, but even more so are your comments and your opinions. So feel free to stuff the comment section down below with them. I look forward to showing you guys more of my inventory. I have a few new blade pieces I'm looking forward to showing you guys. That'll be in my next video. And again, the materials, that's the point. It's all recycled junk. You at home can make this stuff yourself, and I'm going to tell you what you need and show you how to do it. So thank you all for watching. Everybody hang in there. And to my special friend who made this request, I really thank you because I definitely was looking for an excuse to launch some stuff across my apartment. So thank you guys like always. Be safe, everybody, because safety is always first, but don't forget to have fun.